I think it's also important to acknowledge with these issues that I don't think a lot of people do is how much progress has been made in the last 50, 60, 70 years with regards to these issues.
Yes.
It's like what you were saying before, doing two things at once, acknowledging that there's still work to do, but also acknowledge like how much progress has been made with regards
Yes.
to racism, sexism,
Right.
homophobia, transphobia now as well.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
think that's
And
important to do both.
I agree. And that's actually the nub of the debate about the 1619 project, I think. Obviously there are conservatives that just think it's America hating or all this. And, I think that's pretty easy to dismiss. There are liberal critics of it as well, however, and I think those are harder to dismiss because what the liberal critics say is that some of these initiatives actually um, neglect or negate the kind of progress you're describing you know, um, and exaggerate the degree of oppression and diminish the degree of freedom. So, was slavery an American institution? Was it absolutely integral to the creation of the United States? It was. You know what? So was anti-slavery. Anti-slavery was also largely an American product. I mean, you guys had something to do with it too, but I think it's fair to say that the international leaders were, Frederick Douglass, William Lloyd Garrison, and so on. They're Americans, and they were speaking in an American idiom, in an American tongue. They are part of the story too, and I think that the great dilemma in history is how you balance these things, right? How you take both of them into account. And I do think there's a legitimate fear that some of our initiatives right now aren't doing that. If you teach people that America is inherently a racist place and that our laws were created to promote and encode racism, and that that's been a consistent through line, I think that you neglect what you were calling progress. And I go even further, I think that you become a propagandist. Which in an ironic mirror of the love it or leave it flag wavers, who don't want who have a singular story as well and don't want any questioning of it. The good stuff, I think, is in the questioning. And by the way, that's another reason we have to protect free speech, right? So we can have that questioning, so we can have that debate.